What, you must be kidding. What is there to celebrate about being laid off? What is there any gold in this pile? Well, when we look at what's happening in the market right now, there are sectors like the tech sector that are laying off. There are companies, UPS, maybe up to 50,000 people. Amazon's laying off another 20,000 people. They think by the end of the year, some estimates are, we will have laid off 1 million people in this country by the end of the year. What is there to celebrate in that? And the headlines and the groups and the charts and graphs just keep coming. We want to think about not that, but what you might be able to do to capitalize on this. You might think that the only secure jobs right now are in HR, laying people off, but there's more to this than that. Think about this for a moment. For years, I have watched the misemployed numbers rise. The number of people who are not unemployed, they are misemployed. They dread Mondays and look forward to Fridays. They're not fulfilled in their jobs. They just don't feel like they're accomplishing as much as they could with their lives. Is something called Sunday anxiety. So that's where TGIF came from. Thank goodness it's Friday. Is that the way you want to live? And in fact, the latest Gallup poll put the number at 70% of people who are misemployed. So have you ever thought about leaving, about changing jobs? You tried to make the decision based on being passed over for a promotion, or the company changed, or the organization changed. Well, that decision was tough, and you don't have to make it anymore. Someone has made that decision for you. So now you have the opportunity to make the most of your life and to become the best you are capable of being. But I want you to think about a different word. Instead of thinking about finding another job, think about forming your new career. Being a professional, going to the next level, a career, not a job, not something that you're paid to do, but something that you earn because of who you are. Now you may say, I'm too old to have a new career. Think again. Go to Kentucky Fried Chicken for dinner. Harlan Sanders, he called himself a colonel, he wasn't, but Harlan Sanders was 63 years old when his restaurant, his business went bust. He was laid off. And that was because an interstate highway bypassed his restaurant and he lost his customers. He lost the travelers. So he started Kentucky Fried Chicken when he was 62, had his first franchisee when he was 63. You are not too old. You'll hear people say we learn something new every day. That's not true, but we do have the opportunity to learn something new every day. And the older you are, the more you have possibly learned, the more knowledge you have accumulated. You need to start now, and I will help you. You've had plenty of time now to kick the cat and be angry and cry and whatever else. Now it's time to begin to get started on your next new career. What's going to happen with the rest of your life, the next chapter in your life at least. You can become a professional. Now, I want you to understand going into this, an important principle, the fleas come with the dog. You're going to be looking for a new position. It's not going to be perfect. We look at that cuddly dog over there, but you know what? It could have fleas. And it has to be walked twice a day, and it wants food, and it wants water. So there are going to be some parts of your new career that you're not necessarily going to be attracted to, but they're going to be a vital part. I will help you, and this video will help you. I put this video together based on what I have learned from my own experiences and the experiences of others. You're not alone in this. Others have been down this path. Many have succeeded. Some threw in the towel, but many have succeeded. In fact, most have succeeded. In my experiences, I've been laid off. I've been exactly where you are, so I can empathize. I can feel the emotions. I know the fears. I know the uncertainties that go with being where you are. Get over it. Something you may not want to hear is this. A critical skill that you will need is the ability to sell. Now, it doesn't mean you need to go into sales or become an account executive or a national account manager. It just means you are a product. You are a service, and you need to be able to sell it to those people who will help you achieve what you want to achieve. If you're going to work for some other organization, you got to sell yourself. If you want other people to come around you and help you with your new venture, you're going to need to be able to sell yourself. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to sell. Going to give you all the resources you need to become an accomplished salesperson. In this video, I'm also going to be using video training format. I've produced a lot of training videos. That's what I've been doing. And in a video training format, we put things in subliminally that will cause the information to go to your subconscious mind so that you can retain it longer. It's all about learning and retaining. You'll have some ideas here, and one of the things that I'm going to do to sink those ideas in is to help you understand the 3 I's. So whenever you see I's and the letter I, your subconscious mind will know, hey, this is one of the I's that I need to learn. So let's get started. The first I is inventory. You want to take an inventory of this product that you have to sell, this service that you have to offer, and so we're going to use the 3 E's to help you inventory what you have to offer. The first E is education. Education is everything that you have learned formally and informally, so it's every course you took when you were in school. It's also every article that you've read, the specialized training that you've had in the past. It's videos like this. It's anything that you have learned to enrich the knowledge in your mind. That's your education. You have a lot more of it than you think. In fact, you probably think, well, everybody knows that. There's nothing that everybody knows. You're going to bring things to the table that are going to amaze the people that you're going to be working with. Education and then experience. Experience is any event in your life that impacts the way that you think. Any event in your life that impacts the way that you think. Could be positive, could be negative. You've overcome obstacles in the past. You've overcome physical difficulties in the past. You've achieved great things in the past. People have said things about you that you need to remember that are compliments, things that they know that you can do. And the third E is environment, the environment in which you find yourself. Now, you've been in an environment, and now you've left that one. What's the new one going to look like? What will you take from the old one and include in your new one? Maybe it's new people. Maybe it's new opportunities. Maybe it's new skills. You want to make a list and update it regularly. Because if you have this list where you can access it, you'll remember things that you can do. Somebody will say, I didn't know you could do that. Or somebody will say, how do you do that? You want to add that to your list. That's something that makes you special, something that sets you apart. In fact, look at this list for a moment. Education, experience, and environment. Who do you know that has the same level of education, the same experiences, and has been in the same environment as you? That would be nobody on this planet. You are totally unique. Your DNA proves it. So this uniqueness that you bring to the table is what you have to offer to the people who are going to help you go to the next level. The second I is interest. What floats your boat? What are you interested in? And if you could have a job or a career that involves that interest, wouldn't that be great? Instead of dreading Mondays and looking forward to Fridays, you would be in a position to say, I'm looking forward to going out and doing what I do. I'm looking forward to making this video. This is an interest of mine. It's what I enjoy doing. And I also enjoy helping other people. That's why I'm building this for you. Now, I'm going to hear, and you're probably going to hear, I'm too old. I'm too tired. I don't like computers. I don't like AI. All of those statements are true if that's what you say. However, you could say, I'm older and wiser now. I'm older and I have a lot of knowledge that I didn't have before when I started my previous job or career. If you're too tired, work on it. Exercise. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. Exercise your mind. Exercise your body. Keep your spirit enriched. Do the things that will help you grow. And if you don't like computers and AI, get over it. They are here to stay. Make them your friends. You don't have to be an expert in any of those things. Just find a way to use them and make them work for you. What is your current purpose? Have you ever thought about why was I created? What is my purpose here? We go through these midlife changes sometimes and think about this. Well, there are people who say you were created for a purpose. I don't think that's true. I don't think I was created for a purpose. I think you and I were created for purposes. And each purpose leads to the next one. What we learned in the previous one, we'll use in the next one. And what we learned there, we will use in the next one. This image is probably familiar to you. I've sanitized it for the audience. This will help you understand who you are. First of all, you live in an environment, and you're about to go into a new environment, and you have the opportunity to shape that now. What do you want in it? What do you want out of it? And then your thoughts. Thoughts always precede actions. Thoughts always precede actions. You'll hear people say, well, it happened so fast I didn't have time to think about it. Your subconscious mind did. Your mind was so busy helping you avoid an accident or do something different, eventually it came up to the conscious level. Thoughts always precede action. Watch your thoughts. Do you think you're too old? You are. If you think your age has brought with it experience and wisdom and maturity, you're also right. And then there are the five senses. We're about to play a game. I'm going to pause for a moment, and I'd like for you to write down the five senses or at least list them in your mind. So let's start the five senses. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. If you are like 80% of the people in my audiences, you came up with the first 3 immediately, but you had to think for a minute to come up with the 4th one. If you're like 50% of the people in my audience, you haven't thought of the 5th one yet. Now, what do we learn from that? Human nature doesn't change. Human nature doesn't change. You're human. Your nature isn't going to change, but your activities can. And they change based on how you think and how you use your 5 senses and how you look at the world and what you could be accomplishing. You have innate abilities. You don't know why you're able to do that. You're just able to do it. Some people can sing. I don't know why they can sing. They can fix things. You have these innate abilities, and people will ask, how did you know to do that? And you think everybody knows that. There is nothing that everybody knows. Then you have developed abilities. Over time, you've developed abilities to do different things. This is a part of your product. This is a part of what you have to sell. This is what you are going to take to market. This is the biggest one, passion. What are you passionate about? I'm passionate about helping people. That's why I created this video. That's why I do things to help other people go to the next level. I enjoy that. Some people enjoy other things. That's great. That's why they were created. What is your passion, and can you build on it? And then what is your foundation? We think our standards, our ethics, and so forth are built prior to our teenage years. So we learn right from wrong. We learn things. Well, you have developed a work ethic, so you know you've added at least one to it. But what are those foundational things that are important for you? And if you had a rough foundation, what have you done to change that? If you thought you were low self-esteem because that's what people told you have to overcome that. And then once you have that solid foundation working for you, look at your journey. Where is all of this going to take you now? The environment and your thoughts and your passion. Where is all of this going to take you? And you'll need to make a decision here. Do you want to fine-tune the familiar, or do you want to redefine the process? When I'm working with an organization in a turnaround, a corporation has lost their way, they're not making money, they're not succeeding, I ask the leadership, do you want to fine-tune the familiar, keep on doing what you've always done, only do it better, faster, and at a lower cost? Or is it time to rethink your business purpose and rethink what you're all about? It's much easier for an individual like you than it is for a corporation. So the number 1 I is inventory. The number 2 I is interest. What interests you? And the third one is incentive. You're going to need to be motivated. You're going to need to have something that will pick you up when you go down. Something that when everything that you tried hasn't worked, you'll go back and try one more time. People ask me if I'm a motivational speaker, and my answer is, well, if you'll use my definition of motivation, yeah, I guess I am. My definition is motivation is the combination of education, opportunity, and courage. Education, what you have learned, opportunity, and courage. You see, we miss opportunities. And we'll talk about that in just a moment, how you can identify those opportunities when they come along. But let's say you have learned how to play a musical instrument, and there's now an opportunity for you to play in front of an audience. That's where courage comes in. So do you have all three so that you can have the incentives, a motivation to keep going forward? Well, motivation comes from having goals and a plan. You have a destination. If you have nowhere to go, doesn't matter where you walk. Have a focus. This is where I'm going to go. You define what your next job, your next career is going to be. Have goals set and have a plan. I'm producing this video during football season, so of course I'm thinking about a goal post, a football goal post, American football goal post. So here are the 3 rules behind a successful goal. These apply to every goal that we set, and if we don't use all 3, the goal's probably not going to happen. Number 1, it must be written, and it must be written in your own handwriting. You can transfer it to a device later if you like, but the goal has to be written in your own handwriting because goals function in the subconscious mind, not at the conscious level. Goals function in the subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is more likely to believe and retain something that it sees in our own handwriting. We read a lot. We see a lot of printed material. Our mind may believe it, may retain it, maybe not. But if it sees it in our own handwriting, it's more likely to retain it. So write your goals out. Number 2, it must be quantified. Quantified means you have a number on it. You can measure it. If it's not measurable, it isn't quantified. Don't set a goal to be a better parent unless you have a parentometer and you can measure the parent you are today and the parent you are then. By the way, did you notice what just happened? When you get to this point in goal setting, where you write them down and you recite them to yourself and you quantify them and see what they could actually be worth, the sky behind the goal post changed from gray to blue. Gray, foreboding. Blue, blue skies. This is where you're going. This is what we're going to accomplish. And the 3rd standard is it must be dated. There is no someday. Put a date on it. If you will go through this process, written, quantified, and dated, I've taught this thousands of times. I've gone through this myself hundreds of times. What you will find is your goals will happen sooner and better. I don't know how it works, except our subconscious mind now is able to recognize inevitable opportunities. We're able to recognize an inevitable opportunity. See, the opportunity is going to come along anyway. If we don't have a goal set, it might come and go and we miss it. This is why we say to ourselves, I wish I had known then what I know now. That's a missed opportunity. If we had had the goal set, we would have recognized it for what it is. So have some intermediate rewards for yourself, because between now and the time you achieve that career objective, it may be a period of time. Give yourself rewards. Find something you don't want to do and go do it, and do it successfully. Then reward yourself. Treat yourself to, dessert or an ice cream or something, or come up with, whatever it takes, $20 to go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee. Do something to remind yourself you're worth it. Reward yourself, and you'll find yourself doing more and more of those things that you don't want to do. This is my favorite layout for setting goals. I will do this by this date. You must write your goal with some format like this. It needs to have your pronoun in it. I will. Not someday, maybe I could. I will do this. I will accomplish this by this date. And when you use this format, make sure everything in the I will is written and everything on the bottom line, it's dated. You know when it's going to happen. Now, how can I help you? How can I, Chuck Reeves, help you achieve your next level? Think about what just happened. Somebody just said, how can I help you? Not can I help you? That's a closed-ended question, yes or no. How can I help you? You see, what happened was ideas started churning in your mind. Hey, what could this guy do to help me? And maybe your heart, your spirit was lifted a bit because you realize you're not alone in all of this. That's a powerful question because it contains the most powerful word in the English language, the word help. The word help will stop men in designer suits on the streets of Manhattan when it's snowing. I tried it. It'll work. Could you help me? And we tend to want to help. So I'm going to ask you to help others. As a part of your growth, as a part of your goal setting and achievement, help others. What have you learned through this process? Help others. If in this video you picked up 3, 4, 5 ideas, share them with other people. A loser says, no, I'm not going to share them. They'll know what they know and they'll know what I know. They'll get ahead of me. You can't teach without learning. So share the goals. If you want to send the URL of this training to somebody, that's just fine. But start looking at what you are doing for other people, and you'll be surprised how many rewards start coming your way. You're going to find this video and other videos. You're going to find articles. You're going to find things that will help. So record them, come up with them, and maybe bookmark them. In other words, how can you help me? You know the drill. Click the like button. Click the subscribe. I may be making some more of these based on what I see in the comments, but click those 2 buttons for me. But more importantly, share whatever you learn with other people. Help them grow as well. Have a cohort group, have a mastermind group, meet on a regular basis. And something else you might want to do with a material like this that you find is put it on your phone. Because somewhere down the road, you're going to have an interview. You're going to have a contact. And if you're smart, you'll arrive at least 30 minutes early to anticipate whatever traffic delays might come along. And while you're waiting, you can go to your phone and pull these things up and be reminded. You'll be getting those ideas reinvested in your mind, and you'll be re-encouraged to go into it. So I told you I would teach you how to sell. Here it is. If you will go to a website, www.aiforsales.solutions, aiforsales.solutions, you'll find my catalog. There's a catalog there of sales training courses, not just videos, entire courses. These used to sell for hundreds or even $1,000 on my site. I took them off of that site and put them on YouTube. What does YouTube charge you to watch a video? That would be nothing. So you can have all of this training just for a click. And as you learn, teach other people. Now, what you will find there is some very basic sales training. It's called plush selling. It's how to do a value-added sale. And then there's some intermediate training. And if you're a seasoned salesperson, you might want to go there and look at some of the advanced stuff, like illicit sales. Once AI came along, we were able to do elicitation statements, elicit sales. It's what the FBI, the CIA, and Scotland Yard use to draw information out of people. We use it as a needs analysis. So your needs analysis can go to the next level now with elicit sales. And then if you like, you can go to Amazon and pick up one of my books. One is called The Nanosecond Salesperson. It teaches the principles of sales, but it also includes Kaizen for sales, the principles of lean applied to sales. And then there's The Theory of 21, my first book. For every person who will say yes, there's 20 who will say no. For a positive response, you got to find the 21st person. Not everybody's going to love you. Not everybody's going to encourage you. So read this and learn how to process that information and how to overcome it. The Journal of a Climber is an esoteric allegory. It's kind of a deep book. People who have read it, if they can get past the second chapter, if you'll just read the first 2 chapters, you'll start moving forward, and you will see just how high you can go. And you will learn that you decide your future. Not someone else, not circumstances. You decide your future. Then there's Man in Nam. A boy becomes a man in Nam. My experiences in Vietnam, I became a leader when I was in Vietnam, a squad leader. 3 months after leaving my teens. I was responsible for a whole lot of military equipment and the lives and welfare of 4 other men. And then the book, The Customer is Usually Wrong, is my attempt at customer service. Most customers don't know what they want, but if you'll help them understand what they're trying to achieve, then you can be a salesperson. You can support them. That's what this whole video has been about, helping you achieve what you want. No matter what else, no matter if you learn from this video or not, no matter what you learn from other people, teach others. I autograph every book, sign every letter, and close every newsletter and my emails with 2 words: teach others. Whatever you learned about life and success and business, teach others. And thank you for watching to the end of the video.